Well, hello. So here I am with a perfectly good tenor ukulele, uh, and I'm going to take it apart. Basically, this is a great tenor ukulele. I highly recommend. It's a Donner tenor ukulele. It came with electronics in it. They're very inexpensive, somewhere between $70 to $80, and they come with a soft case. Plays well, sounds good. If you want to hear what it sounds like, you can hear this on. It's what been using for a lot of the slack key ukulele lessons. I'm going to use my soprano after I take this one apart, and I'll probably build another tenor ukulele that's a triangle later, um, and so on and so forth. But I'm going to build a little guitar. So what I'm going to do is keep the back and the sides, and that's it. I'll cut the neck off, and if I could go to all the trouble heating it and getting the glue to go loose, or I could just take it to the bandsaw and cut it off. So I'm just going to cut it off, and then I'm going to cut the top out and not use the top. I could. This is how I want to do it. So I'm getting ready to just cut this thing right off of here because I'll put a new neck on, and I'll just take a Dremel and I'll just cut out the top and pull it, and what's left of that part of the top will just become part of the binding, and you won't see it. And I'll glue a new top on out of some old cedar that I have. And what I'm doing is I'm going to put a neck on it, give it a little longer scale length. I'm going to use the scale length off of the Quattro, which is 20.5 inches, but it'll be more like 19.5 inches because I'm going to go from the second fret on the Quattro. My theory is there's such a thing called a Ghee-lele, or Ghee-lele, or whatever they want to call them these days, which is a 6-string tenor ukulele that tunes like a guitar but up at the 5th fret. Well, I figured if I put this longer scale on it, put Ghee-lele strings on it, it'll tune like a guitar if it was capoed on the 2nd fret. So a little lower tone, and it'll also be able to accommodate regular guitar strings if I want. So it'll just be something I feel like doing, and of course if it doesn't work you'll never see this video and it won't matter. But here's the top I've made, and it's a dark cedar, and I had some pieces the way it came out, so it's not all matched up beautifully. But I don't think that'll matter when we sand it and finish it. It'll have a really cool look to it. And you see it's got a 3.5-inch sound hole because it's got to accommodate the 6 strings. That's a guitar size for a classical guitar. And I'll probably put this rosette, if I can get a hold of it, this rosette on here, like so. And here's the neck. And so you see it's wider like a guitar. I have to do some carving on it, and it'll be like that. And I made a fretboard out of yew wood, so it'll have a nice fretboard on there. And the combo of the maple and the dark cedar and the yew wood with the mahogany body should be fun. And you can say, Charles, you're crazy wasting a perfectly good instrument. I'm crazy for a lot of reasons. It doesn't matter. And I've had this for years. I've taken it on bicycle trips and on vacations and all over the place. And if you're just wanting to buy a good, useful tenor ukulele, this Donner ukulele is great. That said, I'm going to cut it up and have some fun because, I got my money's worth out of it over the years, and I'll still, like I said, I'll probably use this neck. I'm going to make a triangle body for it and put this neck on it, and I'll still, and use the tuners and all that. I'll keep the electronics in this particular body. What I like about it is it's got a bowed back, which helps give you a clear tone, and I really like that. And so I've always kind of liked the body and the back on this, and it's real pretty. and it fits in my ukulele case. It still will when I'm done. And you know, I built that short quattro, the small quattro, to fit in the ukulele case, and it tunes to down to guitar range, and it works great. Um, the but now I had to make a headstock long enough for 6 tuners, and so we're having fun with that, and I hope you enjoy this process. I'm not going to show you the whole build, but a couple things along the way in the finished product, and we ought to have fun with it. Well, so the first part went well. Shh. Now, don't tell my wife what I'm doing, because she doesn't know. Of course, by the time you know, she'll know, because I will have finished it. So here we go. We cut the neck right off. I just stuck it on my bandsaw and cut right along the edge. And it came out just right, because none of that's going to be seen because of the larger neck. So here I have this, and that's going to be really useful. I'll put it, I'm actually going to put that on another instrument. Well, I have a triangle frame already, so I'll just put that on for the ukulele and put a top and back on it. It'll be a beautiful little ukulele itself with this neck on it. So now I'm going to cut the top off with a Dremel tool and get inside this thing, and then later I'll take the bridge off and reuse it and stuff like that. So here's what we have. Went after it with a Dremel. Apparently this one has a nice little X bracing in it, which is great. They did a good job with it. I'll put a fan bracing in on the top like I normally do when I do this top. I'll do it more like a classical guitar with the fan bracing, same as I've done with the Quattros. And so the next thing is I'm going to sand this and get it gluable, and then I can glue the top on, and it fits fine. So that's what we're after. So once you see I'm already getting it on there, you don't feel so bad about me cutting it apart, maybe. So we'll see. And that's what we're doing.
Hello, you know, in the last little bit here, I've made a few instruments, which is great. I had actually stopped for a while, and you might not know that because, you know, I still had videos, etc. But I was having a lot of asthma problems, and I just didn't feel like I could keep making instruments. It was causing me a lot of trouble, even though I'd wear a respirator and all of that. But you know, things have worked out, and I'm doing much better, and I'm able to make instruments again, and I'm loving it. So it's quite a hobby for me, and it's very therapeutic. I just feel wonderful when I'm doing it. So there you go. So here's the little Ghee-tar. That's what I like to call it. You can see on the inside it says little Ghee-tar. Might as well call it what everyone thinks it is. You know, they see you with a ukulele or something, they say it's a little Ghee-tar. Well, now it has 6 strings, and it's also a longer scale. You know, there is such a thing as a Ghee-lele. You can buy those. They're a ukulele with 6 strings that you can tune like a 5th fret of a guitar. This is different in that it's a 19 and a quarter inch scale, which is longer than a tenor ukulele, but a little shorter than a Venezuelan Quattro, which is 20 and a half inches. And you know, a guitar ranges around 25 and 3/4 of an inch. It's variable, but that's a general rule. And so what do you get when you cross ukulele with a Venezuelan Quattro and a guitar? You get a little Ghee-tar. 6 strings with a 19 and a quarter inch scale. That is the size and shape of a ukulele that fits in my ukulele case. And it came out well. There's the headstock. You can see that. The neck I carved out of maple. I made it wide. It's an actual classical guitar width neck. So I can practice finger style and stuff like that on it when I'm traveling. There's the back. I used the sides and the back from the Donner ukulele. I made a top out of walnut and put a bridge on there, etc. And made the fretboard out of yew wood that's native to the Pacific Northwest here, which I like as a fretboard. It's a conifer, but it's a real hard conifer, and I like the color, and I actually like the feel. And the string guide is oak, which was logged here in the local area as well. And that's what we have. We have my little Ghee-tar. It tunes, let's see, a step higher than a guitar. So 2 frets. It'd be like caping a guitar at the 2nd fret. And that makes it a step and a half lower than a ukulele. So 3 frets lower than an ukulele. So like if you were playing in G on a normal guitar, on this it's A. So that's how that works, and this is what it sounds like. I might mention it's completely unplugged. So that kind of gives you an idea of the whole range, from your high string way up the neck to the octaves, all the way down to your low string. And I think it sounds great, and it's a lot of fun. I can't say it's my favorite instrument. It's kind of addicting to play because you're all like crowded around it, and it feels good. But it's certainly a great traveler. I suppose you're wondering what my favorite instrument is. It's usually the one I just built, but in this case it's my Spanish guitar. I like the sound so much and the feel of it. It's the one I designed really for me, specifically everything I'd want, and anyhow, that's another story. But this is a great little deal that I can take and put in the overhead bin on a carry-on, on an airplane, all that kind of stuff. When we go on vacation, if we fly somewhere, I get to take this along, and I have a guitar with me. So that's the story on it. I would say if you're interested in building instruments, what I did is a great way to experiment. That if you haven't built any and you're not ready to make sides and things like that, there are so many old guitars, ukuleles, things like that out there that people don't want, and you can find them in garage sales. Sometimes people are giving them away. Usually they're like a child's guitar that isn't valuable as a guitar and doesn't play well and things like that. And you can usually take the bodies of those and do something with them. You can put a different neck on them. You can put a better top on them. The things that would change how an instrument plays. The top, the wood that the top's made out of, makes a tremendous difference. And then a lot of those cheap guitars have a real crummy neck with a plywood fretboard. If you cut that off, cut the top out, you could put on some decent, spruce or cedar for a top usually, which you can buy the blanks if you're not ready to plane wood down and make it from a slab like I do. And you could even buy an electric guitar neck and put a block inside and bolt that neck on onto any old kid's guitar body and make yourself a pretty neat acoustic guitar. So you could experiment, and honestly, failure's an option. You know, if you fail, you're not out anything. If you, especially, you know, if you got a throwaway guitar from someone for free and you mess it up, you're not out anything. You can fail and learn. So that's how I would recommend it. I got started in a similar way. Obviously, I've built instruments from scratch, and then occasionally I still take instruments and repurpose them. So that's my thought on that. I hope you enjoyed the video. Lord bless you, and we'll see you next time.